What's up? It's Pierce Ripanti, and we here kicking it with the Kickback.
What's good, TKB fam? We back again with another Kicking It with the Kickback with my boy Pierce Ripanti, man.
Yes, sir.
If they don't know you, man, let them know who you are, bro.
My name is Pierce Ripanti. I'm 25 years old. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. I grew up here in Delaware. Went to Caravel Academy for high school. Went to Lehigh University for college. Man, I played D1 sports for 4 years at college. Didn't end up making it to the league. Right before I graduated is when I dropped my first mixtape, so not until I was 22 really got into music. Went abroad, spent a year in England after I dropped my first mixtape, which was the Cookout. Spent a year in England getting my master's, building our business. I have my own record label, Academy Entertainment Group, with my boys Troy, Johnny, Quan. They're here in the building with me. We spent a year abroad building our record label, man, and pushing the music. Came back home when I was 23, and we've been really just pushing the music ever since, man. Building the brand, building the business, man. Just trying to get it off the ground, put Delaware on the map for real.
I don't think I gotta ask you any more questions after that.
Oh, shit.
Nah, but let's start from the beginning. All right, so you said you went and played D1 sports. Sport, you play football?
I played football, yep. In high school, I played basketball and football. So, played sports my whole life. Sports was like my passion for real. It's kind of what I wanted to do. My dream was always to play in the NFL. It was never really to make music. When we were in high school, me and the boys used to, get up after school and chill, like write raps in the car and stuff, and maybe freestyle on the voice memos in the whip, stuff like that. But, never was like really had any music influences around me. I have influences, my dad influenced me and I had stuff like that. But sports was really I went to school to play sports. You feel me? Played in college, and that was kind of my passion until obviously didn't quite make it to the NFL. I started looking at different routes, and that's kind of how we got to the music.
So, what'd you major in?
I majored in international relations. So I
Does
feel
that
like
explain the trips?
A little bit it does, honestly, because I ended up getting my master's in international business. But when I was in school, I always felt like I wanted to maybe get into politics. Obviously you see a lot going on right now. I was with same type of issues back then. I always felt like I wanted to kind of have a voice, speak up, whatever. So I thought maybe I want to get into politics. So I got interested in political science, international relations, and then the more I learned about politics, the more I kind of realized like I don't think I really fuck with politics that much. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't think maybe this is the route I want to go. I knew I wanted to have a platform and have a voice, but when I kind of started getting into music, Troy started coming to me talking, what you think about dropping a tape? I'm freestyling around school, and people are like, yo, you gotta do something serious with the music. I'm like, maybe I could have a voice in a different way than, politics or something like that, where, I gotta make a lot of concessions, and there's a lot of corrupt, BS that goes on in the political world. So I thought music might be a more direct route, and where I can really speak my truth how I'd like to speak it.
So we have like a couple athletes on here, and I always give them a rundown. So I'm D1 too, bro. So
That's lit.
If you want to line up,
well, we gonna get some work outside.
Yeah,
what position you play?
I never played.
You never played? No. Okay then.
But no, so like, let's start with your name. Like, obviously, let them know your name is actually Pierce Ripanti. But what made you go with I'm
my
gonna
actual
use my name? Does it feel like more?
Yeah, it feels more real. That's I feel like that's always a hard thing to think of when you're an artist. What's my name gonna be? And everybody, has reasons for deciding on the name that they decide, and they feel they might need to pick a name to fit a particular persona, or it just has some sort of sentimental meaning. When I was thinking about my name, I wanted it, honestly, I was thinking about dropping my music. I wanted a way people could search my name and find me, honestly, and I just wanted something that, when it was said, when it was announced, I was able to stand by that. You know what I mean? Life changes, the way you view things change. So, whether it's tattoos, whether it's your name, whatever it is, you got to think about how you're still going to feel about that 10, 15, 20 years from now. So I think, sticking with my actual name and being addressed for who I am. When this is spreading through digital social media, it's coming right back to me because it's me. And, I definitely have different personas and different personalities when it comes to the music. But I wanted to rock with my original name for the music.
So you said you're from Wilmington. What part of Wilmington?
So I'm from like Pike Creek, so really right outside Wilmington, just a little pocket, right on the edge. But live in Newark now. We, I spent my whole life growing up in Delaware. My pops live in South Jersey. We'll go back and forth between Delaware and Jersey. And then when we moved back from England, moved back in with my mom. Spent a year growing up. Fairway Falls, little townhouse, little small pocket there in Delaware. Everything, everything here is small. You feel me? So.
Not until you get down here where we at now.
It's a little bit more space out here in Middletown and stuff. But came back to Delaware, spent a year at home. Just trying to get on my feet. Then obviously saved up enough to move out the house, moved in with the boys, and got a little crib in Newark. Just trying to take off, really put Delaware on the map.
So speaking of your trip that you took overseas, you said England it was?
Went to England for a year.
How was that, like, the experience?
My experience in England was probably like, I say it was like the best experience of my life. I had never been out of the country before.
I ain't never been out of the country.
Exactly. Some of you 100% have to do.
I don't understand. Like,
some of you 100% have to do. I just feel like, growing up in America, it feels like it's the center of the world, and you feel like everybody wants to come here, and it's like the best country in the world. Obviously, right now we're bleeding a little bit, but like you just grow up, you think this is like the ideal of what a country is supposed to be, and you just have you have all these little things in your head, your worries before you go abroad. Like, are they going to be racist? Are they going to like have fun? Do they party? You feel me? Do they listen to the same music? Are they going to want to turn up? Am I going to be able to smoke some gas? Whatever. Like, you have all these different like fears, curiosities, and stuff. And I think that when I got out there, it just like it far exceeded my expectations on all levels. So just like all the things I was worried about, concerned about, things that I was just like, what I mean? It's funny, but you think like, do they drink tea and everybody's all prim and proper and whatever. Like, it was nothing like that, man. And they got their own culture, man. They got their own slang. They got their own music scene, their own way of life. You know what I mean? It's a little bit less competitive and constantly everybody's in competition to be the GOAT all the time. A little bit more communal, and I mean, I really enjoyed my time out there for sure.
You know what holds all of us together? No matter if you're from there, no matter if you ever been there, but music.
No shit.
You got people from America, but you got people who live in them countries that ain't never met this person before, seen them a day in their life, but know every word to this song.
And what was cool was, like you said, like I never really ventured that far outside of my comfort zone with music. I never explored that much, and they know everything that we fuck with over here, but they have a whole new music scene, whole grime scene. Like, you even see it picking up in America, and it's crazy because I went to England and I felt like they have the grime scene, they have drill music, whatever, and you seen with it coming on, Pop Smoke, Fabio, a lot of these guys bringing it to a forefront in America, but that all started in England. You know what I'm saying? And I was hip to it a couple of years ago when I first went to England and saw, oh snap, they got a whole, I like this little drill scene, this little that whole music scene that they had, man, and then to kind of see it like transition over to America, like, and be a part of that was kind of cool. But no, yeah, they got a whole different culture, man. A lot of similarities, but a lot of things are different, man. And I don't know, it was just like, and we had a blast. You know what I mean? You have a little like meeting a foreign girl and stuff like that, hearing her talk to you in her little English accent, and it's like the same thing for them, like them meeting an American boy or whatever is like this whole little fantasy phenomenon, whatever. So just like that whole interaction is kind of like, it's lit.
So speaking of names like Pop Smoke, Fabio, and that drill scene, what influences you when you create your music and your art? Like, who are some names that influence you today?
Yeah, I have a lot of influences. It's funny because I feel like you, as an artist, obviously you have to develop your own individuality, but you do have some influences and I guess artists that you like and you respect. I know growing up, like with my dad, he always played a lot of Outkast, so that's who kind of got me started, like really loving music. That was always his favorite artist, so that's your pop. You're gonna be like, okay, if my dad loves it, I should. You know what I mean? I always liked Outkast music a lot growing up. When I was younger, I think like Lil Wayne was kind of my first favorite artist. Like when I got an MP3 player. I guess I'm older now. I had a little MP3. You gotta go download your shit off LimeWire or whatever.
Yeah, kids don't know nothing about that.
They don't know nothing about this these days. They don't know nothing about that. But I was getting like Lil Wayne, Eminem. I was getting. That's who I kind of remember like the most was like Wayne for sure. He was just the go. He had all the mixtapes. Like I was getting all the Wayne mixtapes, Dat Piff, and then kind of grew. I feel like just how his business model did, but then it kind of just grew into Drake. I really always liked Drake a lot growing up. I'm a big fan of Meek, obviously, J. Cole, Kendrick. I wish Kendrick would put out more music, but he's always been a big favorite of mine. I have a lot, honestly. I listen to a lot of music. Yeah. I try to draw inspiration from a lot of different artists. I do try to be versatile and not really, sound the same. I try to catch different vibes and appeal to different audiences and stuff like that, but I take a little bit from a little bit of everybody for sure.
But being as though we are here, sneaker store. Let us know a little insight on your sneaker. You a sneaker collector? You don't really care about them, or like?
I never was really a sneaker collector, to be honest with you. My boy Troy honestly recently got me a little bit hip to the. Troy's been getting into his You know, he's flipped sneakers and been in the sneaker resale business a little sometimes, and you know, getting his Supreme drip up and all that stuff. So seeing him come home with the box and the pack just sparked my curiosity a little bit. I got some Air Bacons on my feet right now, so these are a little exclusive. You know what I mean? I just, you know, sneakers are expensive, so until I came into some bread, I never really had anything out of the ordinary, any sneaker that cost more than $150, honestly. But just this year, I came up on my first pair of Yeezys, my first pair of Jordans, my first shit. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not huge in the sneaker game, but I admire it. I think it's cool with some. As I'm getting some bread in my pocket, I see myself getting into a little bit.
It get expensive though.
I know it does get expensive, but I'm not a fanatic. But I'm curious about it. I'm interested. I couldn't sit here and lie and tell you that I know more than I do. But it's cool. I fuck with it.
But speaking of sneaks, let's go favorite sneak in your collection right now.
My favorite sneak in my collection right now is probably these, honestly, the Air Bacons. I don't really wear them that much, but they're the most vintage. Like they're like I said, I'm not really in the shoe game. When I was back, I had a nice little internship. Came up on some bread once. My bro took me sneaker shopping from Lehigh, and he was like, "Yo, like cop those. Like you know what I mean? They're dead stock or whatever. Like if you get them, they're like a rare piece. They're like 180 or something. When I got them, he's like, you can't really get them in stores or whatever. And so I grabbed like these and then another pair of shoes that I honestly couldn't even tell you what they're called. And that's like the coolest shoes I ever got. So probably these. I had a pair of Yeezys, but they're lost now. So I would probably say those, but probably these.
All right. I always ask, because we from Delaware and we really big on supporting like other people. Like
absolutely.
Give us Delaware artists that you can see yourself collabing with.
Well, I actually just recently collabed with a couple artists. So my boy Rizzy, I collabed with him. If you guys are familiar, I collabed with Sap. So Sap's a pretty big name in Delaware music. If you don't know Sap, you need to get hip to the Delaware music industry. But so we worked with Sap, worked with Rizzy. I worked with my young bull Carr. He's young bull on the come up. He's nice. Quadi's a big name in music. I would love to do a track with Quadi. He's one of my favorite artists in the Delaware scenes. He's putting on.
Fun fact: me and Quadi went to middle school together.
Yeah, I played on the same football team as Quadi. We played on the Mustangs together. So shout out Quadi. But man, I wanna definitely help put all these other artists on. We got a label, so you know we're ready to work with artists too. But
so how's that aspect feel of being able to have your own label and being able to come to artists and be like, yo, look.
Yeah, I mean, it's lit. Like, we're on a come up right now. So obviously, in this day and age, being independent is important. You see a lot of the issues that people, you know, come into contact with. Sometimes signing initially right to major labels and stuff like that. So we wanted to make sure we do things our own way, and have a platform to be able to support other artists, and not just support other artists, but do other things. So just last year, we threw the Playboy Cardi show at University of Delaware. That was a big move.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I wished I would have went.
You should have went.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a real big Cardi fan right now.
And the crazy thing was, which I don't think nobody knew, and I know Cardi's about to drop sometime soon, eventually, but like that was some of the last we got to see of Cardi for a long time. Since then, he's been off the map for a minute now. So
I seen
people who didn't go to that show missed out a little bit for sure. But you know what I mean? We had the platform to throw the Cardi show. We had the platform to, you know, we were supposed to throw a big party in the summer, and Muhammad Ali's mansion got shut down. But platform to do that, man, and just you know what I mean, record dudes come record in the studio, help, you know, work together, collab. Like you said, we're trying to put Delaware on the map, you know, bring the artists together and stuff like that for sure. But at the same token, we also trying to stand out. You feel me? At this point, we feel like we're the hottest out, like hottest label in Delaware, best artists in Delaware. Man, we're pushing that. You got to believe in that. And so we just, feel me, we're also trying to set the tempo. You feel me? And separate from the pack. I feel like at this point, like no one's really put on for Delaware on a big scale that we need to yet, man. It needs to happen, and like, but it's not gonna happen till, you know what I mean, somebody really makes their mind up to do that, and I'm definitely on a mission to do that for sure.
Rolling Loud last year, never was a Cardi fan until Rolling Loud, and I seen him live, and I was just like, I mean, yeah, obviously you know Shooter and you know the popular songs, but when I went back and actually listened to his tape, it's like.
He's
give me energy.
And seeing his performance energy is some of the craziest you've definitely ever seen. I've seen videos of Travis, and I've seen some great performers perform before, and you know, throughout the whole process. You know what I mean? You know, I was really getting hip to all his music when we were about to book him for the show. You know what I mean? We decided on Cardi, and you know, I like you said, I knew a lot of his mainstream songs, but I didn't know his whole catalog. But I really got to digging into his catalog. I was like, he has a lot of hard shit that I fuck with. And then you know, we're going through the business, so selling tickets, promo, and all that's a lot of work. But then once you see him live and you see him perform and you see his energy and how he engaged with the crowd, he was
definitely worth it.
Oh yeah, definitely worth it.
So speaking of, how does that influence how you perform?
Yeah, I mean, just like I'm just starting to that's a part of my craft that I've been perfecting since I got into it, and I think it's definitely one of the hardest part of the craft. And I study artists, Travis, Drake, all Tory Lanez, Cardi, all these dudes who have high energy shows, man. Just watch them try to emulate a lot of things they do, how they engage with the crowd, how they talk to them. You know, people like J. Cole, Jay-Z. Everybody has different types of shows. Some people are energy, some people are more personal and interactive. But that's some part of my game that I'm always trying to craft and perfect. And man, we've been selling out tickets, 50, 100 tickets at the shows, man. Doing Noto, doing the club. So we really can't wait for it to open back up and get back to it.
I wonder what it's like being a famous guy. Everybody probably change your size. Everybody probably claim they ride. You take a hit, then everybody probably change their mind. I'm like, damn, what a shameless life.